Senator Ludlam.
Thank you. President,
just wait a minute. Senator Ludlam is entitled to be heard in silence. Senator Ludlam.
Thanks, President. My question is to Senator Conroy in his capacity representing the Minister for the Environment. It's regarding a decision by Western Australian Premier Colin Barnett to forcibly remove locals from a road blockade at James Price Point in the Kimberley, which has led to the arrest of at least a dozen people, including elderly women, local small business people, traditional owners, custodians and their supporters. Why is the Minister allowing 20 hectares of land to be cleared and for drilling to commence at James Price Point prior to the completion of the heritage assessment, prior to the granting of state or Commonwealth environmental approvals?
The Minister representing the Minister for Sustainability, Environment, Water, Population and Communities, Senator Conroy.
Thank you, President. Thank Senator Ludlam for his question. The government is working with the Western Australian Government, Mr President, on a strategic assessment of this proposal. The strategic assessment process requires all potential environmental, heritage and social impacts to be fully
just wait a minute,
assessed.
Senator Conroy. When the discussion at the front here has ceased, I'll ask you to continue.
The proposal will only proceed if approved by both the Western Australian Government and Minister Burke. Minister Burke visited the Kimberley in November last year to meet with local groups with different views on the James Price Point proposal, and public comment on the strategic assessment closed on the 28th of March of this year. Recent reports have noted that a majority of traditional owners agreed to support a liquefied natural gas precinct at James Price Point. The proposal is subject to an assessment under national environmental law. Minister Burke will be in a position to make a decision on the plan to develop the precinct once all matters required by the terms of the strategic assessment have been appropriately investigated, which I understand is in the not-too-distant future.
Senator Ludlam.
Thank you, President. I thank the Minister for his answer, which has, I suppose, preempted the second part of my question. The Minister is obviously well aware that the strategic impact assessment is underway. Will he firstly reconsider his decision to not assess the land clearing that's underway at the moment, or that Woodside would like to undertake, and immediately declare it a controlled action so that these activities cease until such time as the strategic assessment has been conducted?
The Minister.
Thank you. Minister Burke is advised that there have been 2 referrals in relation to a road to James Price Point. The first was for a 4-metre wide access track. Minister Burke is advised that a departmental delegate in November last year determined the proposal was not a controlled action. This decision was made as the department determined the access track was unlikely to have a significant impact on matters of national environmental significance. The second was a proposal from the Western Australian Government for a 45-kilometre sealed road from the Broome Cape Levac Road to James Price Point. On the 26th of May 2011, a departmental delegate determined this proposal was not a controlled action if carried out in a particular manner. No further federal environmental assessment will be required as long as measures are in place to minimise impacts on the Greater Bilby, which is listed as vulnerable.
Senator Ludlam.
Thanks, President. I thank the Minister. Does the Minister acknowledge any Commonwealth responsibility at all for the situation having deteriorated to the degree that we now have Aboriginal people being forcibly removed from country during NAIDOC week? And can the Minister cite any action at all that he plans to take to defuse the situation, including, as I put to the Minister in my early question, reviewing and revoking his decision not to assess the existing land clearing proposals?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr President. There's been a number of reports, as I'm sure Senator Ludlam is aware, of protesters damaging sacred sites at James Price Point. Minister Burke is aware of these. This overall is a matter for the Western Australian Government, but if there's any further information that Minister Burke would like to add, I'll take that on notice and get you an answer